Hello, I'm Jane, one of Erica's Stampanory design team members, the other two being the lovely Amanda and Becky, of course. I found this post-it and pen holder on the internet and I thought I would share with you how it's made. It's quite simple, but of course I will Stampanory up our version. For your topper, from a piece of 3.5 by 6 card, you would cut off the bottom 2 inches. That's if you'd like your design to flow through from the top down to the bottom of your holder. So here, this would go in there, and then this would also coordinate with there. But obviously you could just put this piece on here and have something different here. But if you did want to have something that did flow, then cut it all from the piece of 3.5 by 6 inch cardstock. So to make the front of the card holder, you'd start with your piece of card measuring 8.5 by 5.5 inches. So this is the template, and here's my piece of card that's measuring 8.5 by 5.5. So you need to do a bit of scoring, not too much. So with your card lengthways across the top, you need to score at 2 1/4 and 2 3/4. Then give your card a quarter turn clockwise, and you need to score at 3/8 of an inch and 7/8 of an inch. Turn the card back around the other way, and you need to do the same again on the other long side. So that's 3/8 of an inch and 7/8 of an inch. Now this just needs to be cut down to make the shape that you saw on the template. So with a decent pair of scissors, or if you have a rotary cutter, you can use that. Cut along your score line, the second score line in, cut that all the way down to the first line you come to. And then you just need to cut across that first score line there. And cut the second score line to the second crease on the second score line, sorry, brain dead. And then you don't have to, but then just cut along on that score line there, just so you're left with this little tab. Sorry, I'm not in my camera. Then just miter just a tiny little slither off of each corner, just to make it a bit easier for when you fold in to make the box to hold the post-it note holder. And do exactly the same again on the other side. Hopefully I'll get this one in shot a bit better. So you cut down the second score line to the first score line, across there, up to meet that. Hang on to this piece of card, you'll need that shortly and I'll show you why. And again, just cut up to the score line. Cut the tab slightly smaller if you want to. And just miter those corners. And there you have the front part of your holder ready to put your topper on. So that little piece that you cut away from the edge, or one of those pieces that you cut away from the edge, cut that down to 4 1/4 inches long, and then you just need to score at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. And this will be used later to make the little holder inside the holder for the pen. If you take the other piece of card with a card that's measuring 3 3/4 by 8 1/4 and turn it so that it's on its long edge, and then you just need to do a little bit more scoring on here, and then I think we're done with the scoring. So on this one you need to score at 1/2 inch, 1.5 inches and 2.5 inches. So that's 1/2 inch, 1.5 and 2.5. So to make the topper, you can of course use something from your card stash, as I showed you earlier. You can use these to put on the front of the card holder, or I recently been playing with alcohol inks, so I thought I would do something a little bit different and make my own topper using some alcohol inks just to make a background. So this is just dotting on a little bit of the blending solution and then taking some of the colours that I've got. I haven't got that many, but I've got a few. This one's called Patina. Just dot a little bit of that around. This is on a little mini jelly plate, media plate. And I have Wild Plum. Make sure you're in a well ventilated room when you use these, because there is alcohol in there, so it can get a little bit overpowering. And this one, just to add a little bit of bling, is Copper. You do need to give this one a good shake. Top that around on there. A bit more of the blending solution, and the magic will start to happen. And it never works out the same twice. It's amazing. And just with this little puffer, or you could use a straw or the inside of, or the outside part of a pen, just move that around on there. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the patina. That seems to have disappeared. Just give it a bit of a comeback. And then taking the piece of card that's going to show on the top of your folder, or your holder I should say, just pop that on the top there and just give it a little while for it to soak up all of that alcohol ink. And then when you take that off, wow, that looks like Zorro. I quite like that actually. You can just move it around a little bit. But you do get some fabulous different colours that come through. I just love it. I just really enjoy playing with the alcohol inks. Tip for cleaning your little jelly plate after you've finished is you can either take a 2nd generation print, which will soak up a little bit more of that ink, not a lot came off there. The copper seems to have vanished, but can be used for something. It looks quite cool. That's the one that I did earlier from another one that I'd done. Or otherwise, hand sanitizer, which has obviously got a bit of alcohol in there. Just give that a rub into your jelly plate and wipe that off with a clean piece of towel. It's just a kitchen towel or a cloth, and that will clean up your plate nicely, ready for the next time. So, plate cleaned. I did do one of these earlier just so that it would save you having to sit there and stand there, watch me making the topper. But this was one of my earlier alcohol ink prints that I got, and I used the gorgeous trees with the heart from the Fresh as a Daisy stamp set. I used the coordinating paper, which is actually the same as the one that I used, but I just thought that went really nicely together with that. Then I used the What's Up Buttercup from What's Up Buttercup, stamped, and I have embossed that, heat embossed that, and then just drew a little line around just to frame it. And this is just a little circle that I cut using one of these little circular punches. It just gives a little bit more something to grip onto the piece of ribbon that I'm going to use to help decorate as well. So that's now all ready for me to start putting onto the base, or even the front. Okay, so this is the front of the holder, and we're going to stick the tree topper that I made onto the top there. So you can either use glue, double-sided tape. Hopefully my glue is going to behave. It's nearly at the end of its life, actually, this one. I need to get another bottle. So just line that up, leaving a small border around the edge. And then the base part, you need to fold up on each of your score lines. And then this is just going to sit on here, so I'll go ahead and glue that on there. Okay, so now that's glued in place. I have to get myself another glue bottle. We just need to get ready to make the pen holder. So this little piece here that you cut down, we've got those little score marks. Just need to fold them on those score lines so that they look like this. So it's all blending in, isn't it? Let me move that out of the way so you can just see how you score that. And then this lines up with the base of your topper, but to the edge. But keep this folded back because you don't want that to get stuck anywhere else in a moment. So I'm just going to revert to the tape over here. So line it up with the edge and the bottom of the topper, but don't stick this part here. Keep the folded part back and unstuck for now. And then you need to fold in the edges along your score lines. And just fold your little tabs in there, like so. So what's going to happen is you're going to go up there. This is going to fold round and stick to the back of your holder, like so. Right, so this is the trickiest bit really of the whole thing. So with this you need to put on some tape just on that one little tab there, not this one, just this top one on here. And you will also need to apply some tape. You could use double-sided tape. It might be easier actually to use double-sided tape when it comes to the little pen holder part, but I haven't got any to hand, so I'm just using the roller tape there. So you need to bend that up, bend the edges around and secure that. And then you need to try and keep this to the front, and that needs to adhere to the front part. It's a bit tricky to see actually, but that needs to adhere to the front here whilst you bend this round here. So sometimes it's easier just to tuck that away for a little while you do this part. And then just put your finger in and just make sure that that's then attached to the front there. Pop your pen in there and just burnish just to make sure it's in there. And there you have top parts for your holder. So you've got your pen to go in there and your sticky notes just to pop in there. Now so it will stand up, you need to stick the base on now. So here's the base that we did. This is the piece of card measuring 3 3/3 by 8 1/4, and we scored it at 1/2 inch, 1 1/2 and 2 1/2. So now you just need to fold up on the 1/2 inch, fold back on the 1 1/2 inch, and fold up on your 2 1/2 inch score line. So you end up with a little zigzag like that, looks like a W. Now you need to stick this to the back of your front. So tape across the top, or you could glue it, and again along the bottom there with it turned up. So in effect you've got that on the front and then on the bottom at the back of that piece. Then you just need to line up the top with the top of the base, and then if you fold this flat, this should then all line up nicely. Stick on there. It didn't go very straight. Let's try again. There we go. Better. And there you have your holder. So you just need to pop in your post-it note and your pen. And there we are. Post-it holder, Stampanory. I just realised my rookie error. I didn't actually do the ribbon and the little topper to go on the bottom. So best to do this before you stick the back onto the front, but just tie your ribbon round, just tie it over to the edge. A little knot. And you can trim off the ends. Match. And then taking your little sentiment, your little disc there, bit glue on the disc, stick your sentiment on the top there, and then taking some sticky pads, Just position that on the front. That's better. Looks a bit more complete. I will tidy it up a little bit, but there we go. Thank you so much for joining me. Please post your makes on the Stampanory Facebook page. We'd love to see them if you do make the post-it note pen holder or anything else that you make. We'd love to see them. Thanks very much. Bye.